Have you ever walked into a brand new building for the very first time, and before a single person has spoken to you, you instantly feel your shoulders drop and your breathing slow down, while in other spaces you feel instantly on edge? We tend to blame our moods on stress, caffeine, or the weather, but there is an invisible language shaping your exact emotional state right now, encoded directly into the physical dimensions of the room you are sitting in. Architects and spatial designers don't just build boxes for us to stand in, they use an ancient, subconscious vocabulary of scale, proportion, and prospect to dictate how we feel, how we think, and even how we interact with other human beings. It is a silent dialogue between your nervous system and the built environment, and once you learn to read it, you will never look at a living room, an office, or a coffee shop the same way again. The first element of this invisible language is ceiling height, which plays a surprisingly dramatic trick on your brain through a concept psychologists call conceptual metaphor. When you step beneath a soaring, cathedral ceiling, your brain instinctively associates that vertical expansion with freedom, abstraction, and creativity, which is why big ideas flow more easily in open, vaulted spaces. But lower the ceiling down to a cozy, intimate level, and something fascinating happens to your cognitive processing. Your focus narrows, you feel more grounded, and your brain shifts naturally toward detail-oriented tasks and quiet introspection. This is why historical libraries often feature cavernous entry halls to inspire grand thinking, but tuck your reading desk away into a low-ceilinged alcove to help you concentrate. If you have ever felt strangely anxious in a giant, open-plan office, it is not just the noise or the lack of privacy, it is your ancient survival instincts reacting to a room that refuses to give your brain a sense of containment. Closely tied to vertical space is the psychological mechanism known as prospect and refuge, a design theory rooted deep in our evolutionary past on the savanna. As human beings, we evolved with a dual survival need. We need refuge, which means a secure place with our backs protected where we feel safe from unseen threats, and we need prospect, which means an unobstructed view of the horizon so we can scan for opportunities or dangers. When an architect designs a room that successfully balances these two elements, giving you a cozy, protective corner to sit in while offering a clear, sweeping line of sight out a window, your nervous system relaxes because it recognizes a safe habitat. Conversely, when you are forced to sit right in the middle of a room with your back completely exposed to a busy pathway behind you, your body stays in a low-grade state of hypervigilance, pumping subtle stress hormones into your bloodstream even if you consciously feel safe. This is why people will instinctively fight over the corner booth at a restaurant or the desk facing the door in a workplace. We are physically seeking out the optimal evolutionary vantage point. Beyond height and positioning, the invisible language of architecture relies heavily on geometry and the way we physically move through a space. Think about the physical path you take when you enter a building. Do you get funneled smoothly around a gentle curve, or do you crash immediately into a hard, rigid 90-degree corner? Sharp angles and linear grids communicate efficiency, order, and formality, which is why corporate boardrooms and financial institutions are packed with straight lines and severe right angles. But if you want people to feel relaxed, social, and exploratory, designers use soft transitions, curved walls, and rounded furniture because our brains subconsciously associate sharp points with danger and curves with safety and organic life. Furthermore, the way a room guides your movement, a concept architecture calls circulation, tells you whether you are meant to rush through or linger. A space that funnels you down a narrow, brightly lit corridor demands forward momentum, while a room that opens up radially invites you to pause, explore, and stay a while. When you stitch all of these elements together, the height above your head, the safety behind your back, and the geometry guiding your feet, you realize that buildings are not passive containers at all. They are active psychological environments constantly whispering to our subconscious, steering our moods, and writing the scripts of our daily lives. So the next time you feel an unexplained wave of calm, creativity, or claustrophobia, stop looking inward for the cause, look up, look around, and listen to the silent language of the room you are standing in. If you enjoyed discovering how the world around you secretly shapes your mind, hit that subscribe button and join us as we decode the hidden design of everyday life.